Files, posts, replies, group chats, and Teams channels can be archived in Microsoft Teams. To make archived Teams content available, configure an IM archiving job. In order to search archived Teams content, configure and run an IM indexing job first. Indexing does not need to be completed for archived jobs if searching later on is not necessary. Note that a policy is not needed to enforce this job. Creating and configuring an IM archiving job is done in Admin under IM Archiving. Once you're there, click the Create button in the bottom left corner of the screen. A dialog box will open up, allowing you to select the source type from the drop-down. Teams should be the first source type that appears. Give the job a name and then click Create. Now, select your newly created job from the panel on the left under IM Archiving. When the tabs open up in the top middle portion of your screen, select the Criteria tab. In the Source section, you will see the crawler field. Click Change. Select the team's location configured previously. Then click OK. Under Destination, click Change. Here, select Teams Archive, which was also configured before. Then click OK. Next, we have Incremental Archiving. Checking this box will archive only data that was not archived since the last time an archive job was run on this specific dataset. Leaving the box unchecked will ensure that all content is archived since inception, unless a date selection is made under Retention Criteria. Under Retention, select Apply Retention Flag to apply a flag to archived messages. Next, indicate the time period that archive should be retained, specifically by setting the number of days corresponding to the retention policy previously established. If desired, you can also select a date field to include date created, archiving date, or last modified date. Under Legal Hold, you can select the checkbox to apply a legal hold to custodian email archives included in your search case. Under Indexing, you can check Enable Real-Time Indexing if you'd like to search archives. If that's not your intention, leave this option deselected. Under Options, the first item is Disable, Edit, or Delete Posts. Select this if you wish to prevent Teams users from editing or deleting posts. Next is Archive Post from X number of days. Select this to specify a date range for new Teams content to archive. Lastly, you can also archive posts based on specific content, i.e. search words. We will leave that as is. We will, however, select the option to archive posts for the last X number of days. Now, enter a time period in the date range. Under Team Selection, you can choose from a few options regarding how you want to handle posts from teams and channels. The first being archiving posts from all teams and channels. The second being archiving only posts from selected teams and channels, and the third option being excluding posts only from selected teams and channels. Let's leave the first option selected. In the Channels folder selection, you can choose from the following: archive files from all teams and channels, archive files from the following channel folders, and exclude files from the following channel folders. We're going to leave the first item selected. When you're all set making your selections here, click Save in the bottom left corner. Now, select the Job Settings tab in the upper left. First, feel free to give the job a description. Under Job Priority, choose from Low to High, with Normal being the default. If jobs are running concurrently, making the selection of a job priority will determine which job in the queue is selected by the job manager. Under Mode, you can choose from Continuous, Pause and delete indexes, or Schedule. Continuous indexes continually without interruption. Pause stops indexing, and Pause and Delete will stop and then delete the existing index. Schedule will allow us to schedule the job, daily, weekly, for a specific time, and/or a specific date. Run Now is also an option. In the user section, you can see that all users from location is automatically enabled, which will archive all user accounts. If you would rather specify which accounts to be archived, please select this option and select the user accounts individually. We will leave this as is. Now click Save in the bottom left. Now click the Log Settings tab in the top middle portion of your screen. Let's leave these settings as is. However, if you wanted to enable logging for troubleshooting purposes later on or receive notifications, you can always edit these settings later. If you're all set, click Save in the bottom left. This concludes the video on how to configure Teams archiving.